Hi, my name is Julio Rivera. I'm an activist, journalist, adventurer, veteran, television presenter, and businessman. I've covered many of the major historical events going on around the world over the past several years, and after watching regime changes, conflict, and historic elections globally, I've come to the conclusion that the most underreported crisis in the world today can be defined in only one word: malware. That's why I've decided to dedicate my time to educating people everywhere and exposing the dangers that exist on the devices that we've become tethered to and depend on for so many reasons in our day-to-day life. Welcome to This Week in Malware. On This Week in Malware, we'll be covering QQKK and QQJJ Ransomware join the Stop DJVU ransomware family, and XHAMSTER Ransomware is another variant of the Phobos Ransomware. QQKK Ransomware is a file encrypting malware that targets important file types that include documents, videos, databases, and photos. Once it has infiltrated your computer, it launches an encryption algorithm that encrypts and locks user-generated files, but it does not affect system files, so the computer still works. This is because the hackers need your system to work so that you can see the ransom note and be able to contact the hackers. Files encrypted by QQKK Ransomware receive the telltale .QQKK extension at the end of their names, and victims find the ransom note left by the hackers on their desktop. The ransom note is titled _readme.txt. It instructs victims to contact the hackers via support at bestyourmail.ch and data restore help at airmail.cc. The ransom note also instructs victims to pay either $980 or $490 in Bitcoin for file decryption. The lower ransom amount applies if the initial contact with the hackers is made within the first 72 hours after infection. The QQKK ransomware operators will offer users to decrypt one file for free to prove that they can provide a permanent fix for all affected files. Unfortunately, a free or online decryption tool that can restore the files encrypted by QQKK ransomware is not available at the moment. The only reliable way to recover infected files is to restore them from a backup. It is also possible to use alternative data recovery options, yet there's no guarantee that alternative data recovery tools can unlock all the encrypted files. In their desperation, victims may reason that the easiest path to restoring their files is cooperating with hackers, but we never recommend paying or even communicating with them. It's possible that you may never receive a decryption key even if you pay the ransom. How do I remove QQKK ransomware? You can scan for and remove elements associated with QQKK ransomware by using a reputable malware remediation application. To protect your files from similar attacks in the future, you should back up your critical files on a cloud or external hard drive. QQJJ Ransomware has joined the ranks of the constantly growing Stop DJVU ransomware family. Like its other related variants, it infects computers and then locks users' files, including documents, music, pictures, video files, and others. Once the encryption process is complete, the hackers behind QQJJ Ransomware demand a ransom for victims to regain access to their data. If your computer has been infected with QQJJ ransomware, you should immediately disconnect any other devices from the compromised system to prevent further spread of the ransomware. QQJJ ransomware appends files with the telltale .QQJJ extension. Users will then find a ransom note on the computer's desktop titled _readme.txt. It instructs victims to contact the hackers via support at bestyourmail.ch and data restore help at airmail.cc. The ransom note also offers victims the opportunity to have one file decrypted for free to prove that the hackers can decrypt all the files upon receiving payment. The ransom note instructs victims to pay $980 or $490 in Bitcoin. The lower ransom price depends on whether or not the contact is made within the first 72 hours after the attack. Unfortunately, a free online decryption tool that could restore the files encrypted by QQJJ Ransomware is not available at the moment. The only reliable way to recover affected files is to restore them from a backup. You can also try using alternative data recovery options, but there's no guarantee that alternative data recovery tools can unlock all the encrypted files. How can I fight QQJJ ransomware? The most practical way to deal with the QQJJ ransomware attack is to scan for and remove elements of this nasty ransomware infection using reputable malware remediation software. Additionally, to mitigate possible damages in the event of a future ransomware infection, you should keep backup copies of your valuable data on an external disk or cloud drive. Phobos Ransomware is an encrypting ransomware Trojan that was first observed on October 21, 2017. In the years since, its operators have released a number of variants, and XHAMSTER Ransomware is one of the most troublesome ones. If you periodically install applications from misleading and/or potentially unreliable third-party sites, you may unknowingly install malware like XHAMSTER Ransomware on your computer. XHAMSTER Ransomware affects a wide range of file types, including documents, photos, PDFs, archives, databases, and many more. XHAMSTER Ransomware also modifies the original names of the locked files by adding a unique ID string generated for the particular victim. Additionally, the hackers add their ICQ account address, ICQ@xhamster2020, to the new file name. Finally, .xhamster will be appended as the new file extension. Victims of XHAMSTER Ransomware are presented with two ransom notes. One is inside a text file named info.txt. The other is displayed in a pop-up window created from an info.hta file. The instructions in both notes are identical. Unfortunately for victims, the ransom note doesn't specify the exact amount they have to pay. However, the note does say that the ransom amount depends on how fast victims establish contact with the attackers. The eventually established ransom can only be paid in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency. The ransom note also instructs victims to send up to 5 files to be decrypted for free. Hackers tend to make this kind of offer to demonstrate their ability to unlock all the affected files. The total size of the file sent for decryption must not exceed 3 megabytes, and the file should not contain any valuable information. Should the XHAMSTER ransomware victims have any additional questions, they are directed to contact the same ICQ account added to the string of the encrypted file names. How do I deal with the XHAMSTER ransomware attack? Although communicating with the hackers and paying their ransom demand may seem like the easiest way out of the situation, we never suggest that you interact with cybercriminals. Instead, in order to protect yourself from the XHAMSTER ransomware attack, you should have a reputable malware remediation tool installed on your computer. That way, you can constantly scan for elements associated with this troublesome ransomware infection, as well as other malware. To mitigate the potential damage to your files, do not forget to back them up on an external hard drive or virtual cloud storage. You know, as I think about the dangers that exist online, not unlike the subjects we learned about in this video, I know I feel a lot better having an anti-malware program like Spy Hunter installed in my PC, providing me the protection I need against malware, and I think you should too. Spy Hunter 5's strongest features are found in its malware repair capabilities. Spy Hunter 5's remediation algorithms dive deep into your system to remove and address complex malware issues affecting PCs today. While many anti-malware products only flag and quarantine malware and ultimately fail to fully remediate the root problem, the Spy Hunter 5 remediation algorithm detects, quarantines, and programmatically repairs malware problems on your PC. Spy Hunter 5 is a powerful PC utility that repairs malware threats in many cases where other competing anti-malware and antivirus programs may fail. To detect and remove malware for free, go to enigmasoftware.com and download Spy Hunter today. Thanks for watching.